Hello, basketball fans.
A beautiful view here of the rapid developments in City Place on the shores of Toronto Harbor. Out here at Toronto's Air Canada Centre. Well, we can find the NBA regular season is about to get underway. And here at 2K's Field, this is Kevin Harlan alongside Clark Kelly. You can feel the energy here at Air Canada Centre. The Raptors looking to please their fans in this Eastern Conference matchup. And now the opening lineup for Detroit. Get out there with Hudson. Then there's Worthy. And there's Malone. And it's O'Neal in at center, locking down the middle. Now here's Worthy. Rodman grabs the miss.
And that's the shot he has to take.
Exactly. That's the right look. The decision was good. He just didn't execute. Boy, once again, the Raptors were able to put forth a really strong year. You know, the national media recognized it, and the Raptors picked up more and more of the spotlight marquee games as a result.
And so it's the Raptors getting on the board first. O'Neal misses. Right side, Rodman. And all around the rim that time before dropping in.
He had his head on a swivel and was able to pick out the pass and get the assist.
They really want to find that igniter here.
Yeah, that's right. Kevin, the offense has basically been running in place.
They got to get going. Worthy with the bucket.
Well, Merry Christmas. I mean, that was a freebie.
Raptors are gone. 2 or 3 here to start out the game. All right, let's go over to the sideline with Doris Burke.
Kevin, I had a chance to catch up with Coach Stan Van Gundy. He knows this won't be an easy game, especially defensively. And he talked about how difficult it is to contain shooting guard Manu Ginobili. He told me Ginobili is one of those right-brain scorers. He just sees the game just slightly differently. An angle to get by his man or an opportunity to draw contact. And, of course, he can really do it all. Drive, shoot, and pass. Kevin, Ginobili, without a doubt, one of the more well-rounded and competitive players in the entire league.
Thank you, Doris. Hudson hits the target from 18 feet.
They ran that inbounds play perfectly there to get the quick hitter.
First quarter of play with about a minute and a half gone. Here's Frazier. This is to Elijah Wan. And it's sent back by O'Neal. Kidd with the steal. And now running up the court, Kidd pushing it up. That's good from Shaq on the assist from James Worthy. Shaq's got his first basket of the night. In a moment here to take a look at some hustle stats for the Pistons.
You know, they've done a great job of getting a hand up on shooters. Actually have gotten a lot of blocks as well, solidifying that defensive effort.
And also defensively, they've been able to cause some turnovers tonight, and that also builds confidence and gives you momentum.
Here's Kidd following the score by Walt Frazier. And Malone gets double teamed. Worthy kicks to Kidd. And there's another one for the Pistons.
And if you're the guy who has to guard him, it is never going to be an easy night for you.
Fast break, Detroit. Foul call that time on the way up. That'll give him 2 chances at the free throw line here.
And really the defense fouling there to prevent the layup, but that's exactly what you need to do.
It is. I mean, no reason to back off and give him the layup. I mean, much better off making him go to the line.
And that's the norm for him. He's pretty much automatic when he's at the line.
Frazier against Kidd. Baseline J on the way. And that one comes up a bit short. Pistons leading by 4. Worthy, the pass to Kidd. Oh, and there's the alley-oop, and Worthy throws it down.
And the lead just grows on that ridiculous offensive sequence.
You know, Clark, that dunk alone would have been spectacular. Never mind it coming at the end of an alley-oop.
Yeah, that just added more to it.
And you know, guys, right now, they're starting to flatline, just hanging on here for dear life.
And for Manu Ginobili last season, not his best. Down in every measurable category since his rookie year. He's 37, myriad of injuries. You know, but Greg, there's still something so special about that play.
Yeah, I mean, so much of his game is about movement. And Kevin, after 13 full seasons and factor in all of the international competition, you're going to have to start to show some wear and tear, and that's been the case for Manu.
Excellent point. He played 4 pro years overseas before the NBA. Catching up on the changes for Toronto. Dennis Rodman, he's checked in for Shaq. Aguirre comes in for Rodman. And Allen subbed in for Manu Ginobili. Andre Iguodala, he's checked in for Frazier. The drive by Iguodala, and he makes no mistake on the slam dunk.
And the dunk was nice, Kevin, but the move he made to free himself up was a thing of beauty.
It sure was, Greg. What a savvy play to get into position for that jam.
Heads up basketball, plain and simple, guys.
Lets it go. It's good, only a few seconds into the shot clock.
You know, guys, getting back to Ginobili, the most concerning part about last year centers around his shooting. Down in field goal, three-point, and free throw percentage. Just could not find the mark all season long. And that almost feels like 2 buckets coming off the steal like it did.
And especially the fact that it now ties the game. The lead was about to be stretched out, and instead, it's back even.
Now here's Worthy, and Iguodala comes to help. Here's Schrempf. Good work defensively by Rodman.
And looking forward for Ginobili, he may have to reshape his game a little bit. Less commotion overall to try and reduce turnovers. Maybe accepting more of a toned-down role versus the callous role that he's really enjoyed over the course of his career.
Well, last season, the Pistons didn't reach the playoffs for their 6th consecutive season. They're making progress, but as we can all see, still have a lot of work to do.
Yeah, you know, they were spoiled for a while there. How about going to the playoffs for 1996 to 2009? So it's been a rough stretch here of late, but you get the feeling that the building blocks are in place for another push.
And I bet most people forget that the Pistons did make the playoffs for 8 straight years before this current drought. It's been a long rebuild process for them recently, but I think they're making progress and moving in the right direction.
Iguodala kicks to Olajuwon. It's blocked by Shaq, and it's out of bounds. The Raptors able to retain possession here. Here is Olajuwon. Iguodala, the pass to Aguirre. The shot's good on the assist by Iguodala. Aguirre's got 6 points.
And for the Pistons, they seem to have a direction and plan now that just wasn't the case before. It won't be easy to get back into the postseason, but I really pat.
1:03 left to play in the first quarter. Thomas against Iguodala. Pass to Ryder. Lets it go from deep. Hakeem Olajuwon with the rebound. The Raptors have gone an even 50% from the field. They are 7 of 14 for the game. Thomas with the steal.
Toronto foul call. Mark Aguirre. That's his first personal foul.
The Pistons trailing. Here's Ryder. He's been patient so far. Nothing yet on the scoreboard. And that one's good.
They're finding lanes to the hoop now with consistency. 5 buckets in a row from the paint.
And on the flip side, Greg, the defenders have to show more fight on the interior. They've got to offer more resistance here.
Aguirre, no good.
That's the kind of D you need when he's got the ball near the hoop. They were all over it.
Thomas against Iguodala. Thomas kicks to O'Neal. 1 second left. No good on the shot, a bit long that time. And so the first quarter. And the the San Antonio Spurs have really popularized that unselfish offensive style of play. Manu Ginobili.
Attack and find the open teammate, not try to solve problems.
There's a lot to be said for knowing, Greg, who you are and what your game plan is, and there may be no other team that gets that better than the San Antonio Spurs.
And Kevin, it helps to have that core of Manu, Tony, and Timmy there as the foundation, and coaches on the floor for each new wave of players that come on board, whether it's Leonard or Splitter, Mills, Green, or any of the other role players that have come through this Spurs organization.
And off we go, a close game now starting the second quarter. And guys, what's your take on Toronto so far?
You can tell the point of emphasis has been to get to the offensive glass.
Yep, and they've set the tone here early with the hustle they've come out with.
Shaquille O'Neal is out there with Dennis Rodman. Then there's Frazier. Then there's Aguirre. And it's Allen in at the 2. That's the group for Toronto to start the second quarter. Worthy dishes to Worthy. The shot by Malone. And that misses. That would have put him up.
You almost have to assume he's going to knock those down when he is that open.
A shot by Frazier, no good. And, well, Detroit shooting an efficient 53% from the field. Kidd kicks to Malone. Pass to Worthy. Shot from the low block. And a little luck that time, but it drops. And the Pistons lead by 2.
And that's his go-to move right there in the low post.
Well, you know, you look at the Raptors, and they improved in a number of ways last season, but their bench play was one of their bigger improvements. I mean, they had one of the weaker benches in the league in 2014, but they flipped that around last year.
Taken away by Kidd. Here's Hudson. Rodman with the block. And they're moving it up. That one's in there, but it... Short lead is cut down to just 2 points in the bucket from Frazier.
Boy, such outstanding patience and decision-making for them offensively.
Absolutely. Their ball movement has been outstanding, and they're piling up the assists.
Worthy, the pass to Worthy. Nails the wide-open jump shot. Worthy's got 4 this quarter. Raptors have gone 2 of 4 shooting the ball here in the second. Here's Frazier. Good for another basket for him. Number 4 today. He's 4 of 8.
You know, huge height advantage there, but because of the great body control, he's able to cancel it out.
Agreed. The body control essential in that situation. I mean, if you're giving up a bunch of height, then you better be able to manufacture things in the air. Boy, that's a tough one. But he did all he could there, using the leaner to get the shot off.
Worthy against Allen. The drive by Worthy, and Allen with the block. Fast break Toronto. The finish, the coast-to-coast dunk.
You know what? He wasn't going to wait around for any help on that break.
Solo soiree performance all the way. How about that for a little bit of a glimmer?
I'm going to let it slide.
Went for the two-hander on that slam. That's where the weight room comes into play, Kevin.
I think some urgency from him there.
I think he's sensing that this is a critical time in the game, fellas.
Catching up on the changes for Toronto. Olajuwon's checked in for Shaq. Rodman comes in for Dennis Rodman. Andre Iguodala. He's checked in for Aguirre. And it's Ginobili in for Frazier.
This guy is a high flyer. I mean, especially for a power forward, and he needs to be as an undersized player.
Here's Ginobili, and a beautiful feed leads to a monster jam.
The defense to start and ignite that play was terrific, and I love the fact that they attacked early in the shot clock.
And really look for them now to be even more aggressive on the defensive side, trying to come up with a few more steals.
And O'Neal gets it to go. Guys back and forth this first half.
Well, 5 lead changes early on, guys, as we grapple back and forth.
And this could continue to go back and forth the entire way.
Kicks it out to Iguodala. Allen dishes to Olajuwon. And he finishes it off with a one-handed jam.
And guys, right now, the defense mentally not there. Can't afford too many of those in a close game like this.
Yeah, Jay, you're right. Almost a free run, don't you think? Clark to the hoop for a man.
Momentum can swing on plays like that, Kevin, especially when the finish has that much thunder on it.
It's been quite a game for James Worthy.
He's really taking it to him inside. They got to find a way to slow him down.
Toronto calls timeout. In addition to going over the game plan and making whatever necessary adjustments have to be made, Greg, this timeout also the time for players to get rehydrated or hydrate for the first time with some Gatorade. Plenty of basketball still to be played here, and they have to get recharged.
That's a great point. Without proper hydration, a player can completely run out of gas down the stretch of a game. And that's something that none of these guys can afford to have happen. If you're going to battle all the way to the finish, you have got to be hydrated.
Rebound by Smith.
Yeah, but you have to love that tough interior defense.
And, Greg, that's exactly what he gives you. I mean, he's constantly making his presence felt around the rim.
Ryder, no good.
Boy, he's got a nice-looking stroke. That almost went in.
Yeah, and a lot of times he'll still knock those down no matter how good the D is.
What a pass by the fearless Manu Ginobili. Great teamwork.
Thomas against Allen. Out to the right wing. Shaq passes to Ryder. Shaq with the screen. There's the double team with Allen. Thomas gets a wide open look. A three-pointer on wing. Iguodala. That shot's good on the assist by Ginobili. Ginobili's got his third assist on the night.
And another lead change here. How many of these are we going to have tonight?
I'm not quite sure, but I'm willing to bet it'll be more than a few.
Detroit, no good that time either.
The defense needs to play tight on him, and that's exactly what they did to force that miss. Well done.
Now Detroit moving it up. Thomas is running. To the paint, trying to find Shaq. He's got it now. Rodman with the defensive effort. Olajuwon. The shot is off. And we're through the first half of basketball here, and what's been a good one. It's the Raptors leading by a point. And a chance now to send you over to Doris Burke standing by on the sideline. Doris?
Hey, Kevin. Well, Coach Casey, obviously it's early in the season, but how would you say this team is shaping up in terms of its chemistry and personnel-wise?
I love our guys. We have a great group of young men that are competing hard, and it feels good because I know our guys are totally engaged and focused and giving us what they have.
Coach, thank you so much. Back to you guys at the table.
Thank you, Doris. And we'll be back after halftime for the start of the second half.
The 2K Sports Halftime Show.
Ernie Johnson here again with Shaquille O'Neal and Kenny the Jet Smith. And an exciting time of the year as the first game of the regular season is halfway through. The first quarter for the Raptors was fairly even. The largest lead for them during the period was 4. The second quarter was a strong effort for them as they continued to battle, and they were able to close out the half in a good position. And taking a look at the Raptors, Kenny, what did you see out there?
Well, I love how they're getting points in transition. It's about pushing the ball, being aggressive, and then finishing with authority. Several times they beat the defense down the floor and ended up with easy buckets. If they can continue to keep that tempo up in the second half, they'll be difficult to beat.
Shaq, what'd you think about the Pistons?
They're getting beat up on the boards, Ernie. Ooh, smack them around. And you know the coach is unhappy about it, because I'm unhappy about it, Ernie. I'm sure he's in the locker room right now saying, hey, we can bounce back in the second half. You need to dig deep, show some pride.
All right, and that'll do it for us here. We now take you back to the second half of our game. Kevin Harlan ready with the call.
And now the start of the second half. Neither side jumping out ahead through the first two quarters. You have to like what we've seen so far from Walt Frazier.
And in terms of points in that first half, he's now at a point where we expect him to perform that way.
And, Greg, that tells you all you need to know about what a talent he is. I mean, I'll bet he adds a lot more to his totals after the break.
Courtesy of Gatorade, all fueled up and ready to go for the second half of basketball. On the floor for Detroit, Malone is out there with Shaquille O'Neal. Then there's Hudson. Then it's the kid, and it's Worthy, and it's the 3 slot. Now here, the 2K leaderboard with last season's top rebounding teams. In 4th, the Pistons.
It was really an impressive campaign for their bigs. And honestly, I think the whole team did a great job of getting bodies on bodies and controlling that defensive backboard.
Outside kid. Here's Hudson, and he jams it with authority. And Clark, a great competitive game so far.
Yeah, tit for tat. I mean, back and forth, plenty of lead changes, and excellent play.
And from the look of it, this one could go right down to the wire.
Yeah, the Pistons ended last season with a record of 32-50. They played decently enough against the rest of the East and had 23 of their 32 wins against the Eastern Conference.
And so he hits both. And Detroit last season against the East played well for stretches. They couldn't find that consistency to climb the ladder in the East.
And they had a lot of changes going on. Tons of transition for this group. But let's face it, they did play well down the stretch. A lot of wins against playoff teams from the East. And went 500 against Eastern playoff teams in their final 10 matchups.
Pass to Malone.
Wow, he got whacked on that one. Shouldn't be much debate there.
Blatant contact. Straightforward call. Simple.
For Detroit, they have gone 3 for 3 at the line tonight.
And they only made 70% of their free throws as a team a season ago. Certainly room for improvement.
And that just has to improve, guys. I mean, the free throw shooting is something that has to get better. You're immediately putting yourself at a disadvantage when you shoot that poorly from the line.
That one's good, and the Piston lead is cut to just 1 point on the basket from Frazier. Kidd kicks to Malone. Olajuwon with the block. The dish now to Rodman. The drive by Olajuwon. Stolen by O'Neal. It's stolen by Frazier. Finished off the break. Frazier's got 18 points.
No doubt about the consistency when it comes to scoring the basketball for him tonight. A real nice lift for their offense.
Time called here. The Pistons decide to talk it over. In the last few years, the Toronto fans have made a strong case for being the loudest in the league. And Greg, you know, the Air Canada Center can sound like a 60,000 capacity crowd during the playoffs.
It is really unreal. It gives the Raptors a huge advantage here at home. Toronto and Canada will always be hockey first, but they love their Raptors here in the North. And he's just going all out to get the second chance points. Just a terrific finish.
There was no one that was going to prevent MGA from converting that one.
Well, clearly this is the kind of game that could come down to 1 or 2 plays, and he wants to be the guy to make those plays. You know, the Raptors were top 5 in attendance last season as well. I mean, fans had plenty to cheer about as the team finished with 27 home wins on the year.
What a game. This league just keeps going back and forth.
Extremely competitive, partner, no question about it. Good stuff here.
Rodman with the block. Frazier dishes to Ginobili. That doesn't go either by Ginobili.
And the Raptor franchise record for home wins is 30, set back in 07. You get the feeling with the way the crowd gets into it, that record won't stand much longer.
His touch has disappeared on him this quarter. He just hasn't been able to get it going.
And the whistle blows, so that'll be a shooting foul. Great defensive effort there with the blocked shot. But he got more than just the ball that time. Free throws coming up right now. For Toronto, they have been excellent at the free throw line. Here today, a flawless 6 for 6. The Raptors making a switch here. Aguirre's checked in. And the Pistons making a change here as well. Worthy's checked in. Pistons trail by 3. And they double up Kidd. Malone passes to Kidd, wants to get it to Worthy, and does.
He is an automatic finisher when he gets into that area.
You know, he picks the simple one-handed stuff to get the 2 points.
Yeah, and in a close game, though, guys, those could be really important points. I tell you, he has some impressive moves in his repertoire. That's as good as it gets, but just one of many.
Worthy drawing the double team. Three-pointer. Kidd. That is good. Kidd's got the game tied up here for the Pistons.
That's the kind of D that you're not going to find success with, guys. They've got to get a hand in the face.
Here's Frazier. Another miss by Frazier. Detroit's gone 1 of 2 from beyond the arc since coming out of the break. And Worthy throws it down.
You can see the eye contact there. Gave a little nod and then burst to the rim for the alley-oop slam.
No doubt, Clark. A pair of teammates with a terrific feel for each other out on the floor.
And, guys, anytime it's real tight, you're looking for something that could be potentially a momentum builder. And that's exactly what that play looks to be.
Hudson kicks it over to Worthy. Just a bit of an up-and-down year for the Pistons last season. Had some long winning streaks and some long losing streaks for first-year head coach Stan Van Gundy.
Kevin, some would say it was addition by subtraction because they really went on that big run after they released Josh Smith. 7 straight wins for them at one point, and they also did have some giant lows.
Catching up on the changes for Toronto. Dennis Rodman. He's checked in for Rodman. Allen comes in for Manu Ginobili. And it's Iguodala in for Frazier.
And that's what we're used to him doing, but he really just hasn't had that typical impact offensively. If they keep getting him touches, this game won't be tied for long.
And, you know, those giant lulls were a big part of the Pistons season. I mean, their biggest losing streak was 13 straight losses, and a lot of that you attribute to their defense. Well, I tell you what, the defenders didn't even get a sniff of him on that move to the hoop.
Double team on Thomas. Here's Ryder. That 3 off the mark. Raptors have gone 7 of 10 on their field goal attempts here in the third. Thomas against Iguodala. Malone a screen on Iguodala. Thomas kicks it over to Worthy. That one falls, coming off of Thomas's feet. Worthy's got 8 points in the quarter.
And the Pistons also went into a slump after they traded for Reggie Jackson. 1-9 after the trade deadline. They would end the season on a better note, but truly they were streaky last season.
Worthy a screen on Allen. Thomas outside. Toronto grabs the miss, and they're starting off the season against this Detroit team.
And although they were the better team last year by overall record, this was a competitive matchup for them.
Guys, they split the season series, and you know, there's always randomness to this game. The unpredictability of it. You win some, you lose some, but they certainly want to impose their talent level tonight.
3-second difference between shot clock and game clock. It's good, and the Piston lead is cut down to 2 on the bucket from Andre Iguodala.
He had his head on a swivel and was able to pick out the pass and get the assist.
Thomas up top. He's covered by no good off the front iron.
When he's wide open like that, he'll rarely miss those.
And that's not going to go. And we've got a great game on our hands as we welcome you back. The fourth quarter of action getting started. The Pistons shooting at 51%. Really solid. We've got Allen. Olajuwon is out there with Dennis Rodman. Then there's Ginobili. And it's Frazier in at the point. That's the 5 out there for the Raptors.
And they'll be counting on even more points from him. That's essential if they're going to pull this game out.
Knocked loose. Ginobili attacking, and he slams it one-handed.
And this has really been a well-played game up to this point. And you know what? I bet it stays that way until the end.
I certainly hope so. I mean, it's been a terrific contest, and there's nothing like a pair of teams just balling out the way they have been.
Here's Frazier. That falls. Nice feed that time for Manu Ginobili. Frazier's got the lead up to 4 now for Toronto. And look at how the hustle game has been going for the Raptors.
Contested shots and block shots. They're bread and butter defensively. They're giving up no easy looks.
Yeah, but also, they haven't missed a beat in terms of their fast break game. That's been equally as effective all night long.
Here's Olajuwon. It's blocked by Shaq. And they're able to recover. A nice shot by Frazier. Pistons trail by 4. Now a timeout called by Detroit. You have to like what we've seen so far from Walt Frazier.
They don't seem to have any answers for him. They need to review their game plan and look for a way to cool him off.
Doris Burke has some information for us. Doris?
Over that last break, Kevin, I got a chance to hear what Stan Van Gundy said to the team. He talked mainly about giving them a different look defensively and dropping more bodies into the paint, saying, listen, they're eating us up on the inside, and we need to do whatever it takes to stop it. Guys, back to you.
Kicks it to Worthy, and here they go.
Yeah, how about the sharp steal and then run out? It looks like they're ready to put the hammer down.
Well, we've been waiting for one of these teams, Greg, to pull away. Maybe that'll be a springboard for them.
Could be. A dunk like that coming off a great defensive play has to build some momentum.
Here's Hudson. Kidd with it, and Allen picks him up defensively. Kidd attacking. It's deflected. Here's O'Neal. Pushing it up. Here's Allen. Oh! And the dunk to finish it off. A beauty.
And that's how the coach would draw it up on the fast break from start to finish.
Yeah, and what a finish it was, guys. Really nicely done.
That Kia Slam Cam replay really gave you a good look at the action. O'Neal's check in for the Raptors.
Walt Frazier. That's his second personal foul. In for your Raptors, Shaquille O'Neal.
And Shaq comes to help. Worthy dishes to Worthy. He dents the rim with a two-handed slam. Wow.
Went for the two-hander on that slam. That's where the weight room comes into play, Kevin.
I think some urgency from him there.
I think he's sensing that this is a critical time in the game, fellas.
Defensively, they can't afford to back off of him that much. You don't want to be giving up easy threes, especially at this stage of the game.
Kidd is doubled. Ginobili against Hudson. To the inside. And the dunk by Worthy.
Rising high to throw that one down.
Sky high. Fantastic one-hand jam.
Nice way there, guys, to finish up that possession.
Ginobili outside. O'Neal kicks to Olajuwon. Stolen by O'Neal. Feeds it to Worthy. The pass to Hudson. O'Neal high post. To take the lead. He clangs that one off the back iron, and down it falls. And guys, what do you think about the hustle stance for the Pistons?
Boy, their hounding, harassing effort at the defensive end, very impressive. And they forced quite a few turnovers as a result.
Yeah, and another thing, they've created a lot of turnovers, but they've also been able to convert when they've gotten out in transition.
Time running low, guys, and somebody has got to win this one.
This game, as close as it's been, you really hate to see it come to an end.
I agree.
Yeah, well, who knows? We might need overtime in this one. It's been that kind of a game.
Karl Malone's checked in for Worthy. Here's Kidd on the inbound. Here's Hudson. No good on the three. Raptors with the lead. Ginobili right side. And he takes the feed in stride and slams it home.
And tired legs affect you at the defensive end first, and that's what we're seeing here.
You called it, Greg. As much offense as we saw early, we're seeing even more of it here late.
Time called here. The Pistons decide to talk it over. They trail by 3. 1:49 left in the fourth quarter. Hudson the pass to Kidd. Here's O'Neal, and he dunks it down.
The easiest way to do it sometimes is with the bounce pass.
Toronto calls timeout. They're in front by 1. 1:43 left in the fourth quarter. Olajuwon with a screen on Kidd. The feed to O'Neal. Now Frazier back to Shaq. Toronto working the ball around now. Now here's Frazier. Shaq with the screen. Clock at 4. Here's Olajuwon, and he comes off the screen and slams it through.
And a sturdy screen set for him that time, and he doesn't fool around, just straight to the rim for the finish.
No way for his man to get around that one, that's for sure.
No chance, Kevin. I mean, the screen was in the right spot. His feet were set. He would have had to go straight through him, and that's not legal. The defense got butterflies the second that shot went up because they know he typically delivers in the clutch.
Here's Frazier, and another basket for Toronto.
What a top-notch game he's having. He's gotten them in front, and it sure seems like he's going to keep them there. All by himself, it looks like.
And they double up Kidd. Worthy kicks to Malone. 50 seconds left in the game. Frazier against Kidd. Sinks it.
Clutch shot right there. That could be the difference maker.
Indeed, it might be a big, huge moment in this game right there.
Inside, got a piece of it. Shaq dishing to Hudson. Shot no good. So the Raptors will take it the other way. And they go to the intentional foul. And Toronto has possession, and so they foul intentionally. Gets the first, that puts them up by 5. And he hits both free throws here. So now it's a 6-point ball game.
Good work at the line to stretch that lead out a little bit.
Now a timeout called by Detroit. They're behind by 6. We've got 28 seconds left to play in the final quarter. We've got 28 seconds left here in the fourth quarter. And it's out of bounds. The Raptors will take it the other way.
Well, that's inexcusable to throw a pass that far off the mark.
And the Raptors with the ball. And an intentional foul right there.
That's his second personal foul. At the line for your Raptors, Walt Frazier. Taking 2 shots.
So the first one drops, and that makes it a 7-point lead. So he goes 2 for 2 at the line, and it's an 8-point game.
Not sure there's anything they can do to salvage this one.
Not anymore. I mean, any chance they had got away from them, slipped right out of their hand.
It's Schrempf on the wing. Rodman covering. And out of bounds as Toronto gains possession.
And that's just carelessness there. I mean, you have got to have your head in the game.
8 seconds left to play in the final quarter. A nice shot by Frazier.
Just look at how quickly the lead has grown here over the last few possessions.
Clear case here, partner, of saving their best for last. Quite a run.
And so Toronto takes this one, but by a big margin. Some good moments throughout this one, but they had the clear advantage down the stretch.
Yeah, and I thought good execution really played a big part throughout.
And now we'll send it down to Doris Burke, who's standing by courtside.
Andre, a good game for you and the team tonight. Does a game like this carry more weight considering you beat a high-caliber opponent?
I think it's just a good win, period. You know, we can't really think about who our opponent is. So it was a good matchup, good way for us to measure ourselves, and we got another big one Friday.
Andre, thank you. One game at a time, Kevin. That's the motto.
Doris, thank you as always. And that about does it for the first game of the new NBA season. For Clark Kellogg, Greg Anthony, and Doris Burke, this is Kevin Harlan saying thanks for watching And this broadcast has not ended just yet, as we've got the award-winning Ernie Johnson standing by here for the postgame show.
The 2K Sports postgame show.
And hello again, everybody. Ernie Johnson with Shaquille O'Neal and Kenny the Jet Smith. Let us take a moment now to recognize our Jordan player of the game. He found his rhythm in the second half, and there was no stopping him then. He was locked and loaded.
I don't know if there's a fan base that loves their star more than this crowd. Wow. You get jealous, and he feeds off that support. Once they got behind him, he became unstoppable, man.
He was up to every single challenge he faced tonight. He was in such control of the ball game. His showcase of his skill set was awesome.
And that's it for our broadcast here tonight. But we're just getting started on a new season in the NBA. For Shaquille O'Neal, Kenny the Jet Smith, Kevin Harlan, and the entire 2K Sports crew, I'm Ernie Johnson. We'll see you again soon.